Dark side of the stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 276 after a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Jay's pick this week, Billy Idol Should Be Dead. Where'd you watch this? I just wanted to ask you that first before we get into it. At home? I think you watched it when you were traveling.
No, this was at home.
The home one?
Yeah.
I watched it on the plane in Madison and back.
So good, dude.
It's great plane ride.
Perfect,
Especially
yeah.
because like O'Hare's hour and a half, Madison's like 20 minutes. So like I watched it all the way. It was great.
Perfect.
Tells a story about Billy Idol. What was it? Disney Plus or Hulu?
Hulu, yeah.
But I had to. That was the weird thing because I'm looking for it. Everything's through Disney Plus, and I'm like, man, this is a gritty documentary.
You get to be
go
on
through Disney to get to.
Bro, what a documentary.
So there's a lot to unravel. The first thing, though, I think the director did a really, 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 really good job of capturing like all the facets of Billy Idol. Stuff that you might not know. You may not know he was in a band called Generation X before because
he was even prior. I didn't know the prior. I knew Generation X, but I didn't know the prior stuff that he did.
Well, yeah, with all the early stuff with Sex Pistols and all those bands and stuff, which we'll get into that stuff. But then like him coming to the States, going solo, that whole thing, and then all the demons, with the crazy stories that are involved with all of that.
The drug stories.
They're just insane. One segment, we're probably just going to have to trade favorite stories. And then but also, because in the beginning, he sets the tone about like the relationship with his father, the type of person his father was. And it was, it was kind of strange. He didn't really understand. He was straight, no nonsense English dude.
Oh, yes.
And then his son becomes this guy. And essentially, it was his dad in the end who pretty much got him to wake up.
Came back in and said,
and
all right.
said, I can't, and we're done.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm taking over.
So I thought, back to what I was trying to get to,
Very cool.
I thought the director, because there's a lot to unpack.
Man, I know.
And I like to think that I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. And I thought that I knew a lot about Billy Idol, but there were certain things.
You learned some stuff?
Oh my God, dude.
All right, cool.
We'll talk. Let's just start with our favorite stories next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark side of the stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern, back in the studio. It's Dark Side of the Stream, episode 276. This week was Jay's pick. Billy Idol Should Be Dead on Hulu, Disney Plus. So as I promised in the last segment, our favorite stories. I don't know if it was my favorite story. One of the earlier ones that I thought was just amazing was the Nile Rodgers and Bowie thing where he's like hanging out with Nile Rodgers.
Yes.
And like him and Nile like become like they're like
homies.
They just were hanging out all the
Party
time.
buddies,
yeah. And then he's like, hey, there's David Bowie. And he's like, and he just like pukes in his direction. And he's like, but it seems like so on brand for him.
Dude. I mean.
So what?
I didn't know how deep end he got on drugs as he got.
Well, the whole Thailand story about how that's how it really got.
Billy Idol was big, right? He was big, and I had that album, with Eyes Without a Face and all that stuff, and then he was big, but then when he to be that big and then to go that deep on drugs, I had no clue, man. I just thought he kind of just faded out a little bit.
Well, I don't want to say this because he didn't, because he overdosed how many times? Three
right.
times at least that I remember. I think it was like 3 at least that I remember. Probably maybe more. Probably something I didn't even know about.
I mean, my favorite story from this. Well, my favorite story from this, I don't want to spill the beans. We'll talk about that probably in a later segment. But I guess my favorite drug story was when I don't know how he came up with the idea to quit heroin by smoking crack.
Yeah, but he said
Bro, it worked. It worked. Well, don't suggest this at home.
And we're not suggesting it, and we're just.
But hearing people talking the walls and stuff in the hotel, bro. My gosh.
But he he hit upon something that humanity has essentially been trying to figure out since we started getting high or getting drunk. Like morphine, heroin were early on cures for alcoholism.
Right.
And then cocaine came along, and then so on and so forth. So all these things were originally like, okay, this guy's an alcoholic. We're going to get him on this and it'll break him. Billy Idol, for some reason, it just worked. The Thailand story is crazy.
Yes.
Because like he's like, I just think like love how he like nonchalantly says, yeah, me and my friend, we just decided we got to get this stuff out of our system.
We're gonna
go. We're no drugs.
Yes, we're not
gonna
gonna
go to
party.
Thailand and have a sex holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
hey, I'm down.
have you been to a sex holiday before?
No, but I would
Neither
go.
have I was just, but it's like, so for him, it's just like, and I think that you almost find, you almost, or at least in my case, I see what other people, like other artists like Nile Rodgers and all the people that he worked with that are around him, why they love him so much.
Yeah.
He becomes really endearing, even though it's like really scary stuff. And like, again, he overdosed multiple times.
Ride or
again,
die. He's a ride or die
the
homie.
Documentary is Billy Idol Should Be Dead. There's just something about him that's not, he doesn't come off as like,
no,
you know what I mean?
Not
He's
as
just
a
really
kook or nothing.
endearing.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
And his relationship with his, wife or what, like, or ex-wife now, but there was so much love there, even though they were both cheating on each other and stuff. But it was just this love, and when he became a father, it's like really, really multi-layered dude.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
The other, like the Mel Gibson thing was crazy. That Mel
Yes,
Gibson
right. Passed right there on the floor, and the elevator looks
on the
up,
floor and opened up, and there's Mad Max standing there
with his
staring
family,
like, oh my God, that's Billy Idol. You know what I mean? Also, it sucks because I kind of want to know what Terminator would have looked like if he would have been in Terminator.
Dude. Well, yeah, with the motorcycle accident, another reason he should have been dead, Like, literally his leg was destroyed. They thought they had cut it off. And yeah, he could have been the guy in Terminator.
So many things. But
that could have opened up a huge movie career for him, probably.
I always give Motley Crue bad beat for this about why are we always just talking about all the stupid stuff they did. We didn't spend any time talking about the music.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, Billy Idol does have some good music, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark Side of the Stream, Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens. Watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 276. Billy Idol Should Be Dead. You can watch it on Disney Plus or Hulu. Strongly suggest that. Well, first, I don't need glasses.
Yeah, I can't even.
Like you.
When Tyler's writing,
looking at his phone like this, and like looking at computer screens. Like, I'm like, dude,
Mike,
just get some glasses.
Mike, you'll be 56 one day.
Bro, I had LASIK. I'm good. I went. You see what I'm saying? Will you get what I'm saying? Wear glasses. You know I'm going to wear glasses. I don't care. I don't care. I have gray all here. Have I died at one time? Never once. I can't even count the many times that you've had hair treatment. Can't even count it.
I like how you call it hair treatment.
It is your treatments. They're your treatments.
It's my beauty treatments.
Treatments. Yeah. It's not. This is all premeditated. He didn't just wake up like this. Sorry to sell you out, bro.
Sorry, ladies.
He does work hard on it. I'll tell you that much. Anyway,
speaking of somebody beautiful who works hard, Billy Idol.
Speaking of working hard, Billy Idol.
He was a beautiful man too, by the way.
Really good looking dude. And early on, he was a punk dude. He was in a band called Generation X.
I thought he was too pretty to be a punker.
Also wanted to mention none of this probably would have happened had Mark Bolan of T-Rex decided to bring on this young punk band called Generation X that nobody knew. They record the episode. Within a couple weeks, Mark Bolan dies in the car crash. And everyone watches this episode.
Everyone tuned into that final episode.
Again, I love that song, Ready, Steady, Go. It's one of my favorite songs in the world. It's also covered in, I want to say, Empire Records. Really good version of that, too. But they actually do pretty damn well. Yeah. That was another facet of this story of his. He had really deep relationships, and the bass player in that band and him were like, they were good until the drugs and everything else just completely wrecked it. Obviously.
And the other guy, too, that he had produced his stuff that never really produced before. And he's like, they did it, man.
Did a really good job. And then for him to meet Steve
Steve Stevens, that was a big career.
And
booster,
again,
too. Perfect
you see what
combination,
I'm saying? Like he is extremely talented, really good frontman. I think a part of the reason that he pushed himself like that was also they set it up in the early days where him and the bass player, they weren't like poor kids. They weren't rich.
Middle class.
But
yeah.
for in the punk scene, they were basically seen as posers and frauds for being
because they're pretty,
good-looking dudes.
had money, they weren't
money,
the
they didn't have to,
street,
they weren't living in the gutter. So I think that also kind of pushed him in the sense that he always had to be legitimate. And that character of Billy Idol is that person. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, and those boundaries just kind of. But my point is, there are so many different parts of this guy's life where luck just like kind of
luck, fate,
kicks it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's wild.
And then the womanizing part, of course, and I like how she says, she goes, "Well, I was cheating on him too," but we
they
loved each other.
Yeah.
And then he had some kids, and then I guess this would be a great time to say, all of a sudden. This dude in New York, the guy's like 30 years old, and he does a DNA test, and he says, "Hey, man, this is not my real dad. Mom, who's my dad?" And she goes, "Well, in the 80s, I had an affair with Billy Idol one weekend." And this dude finds out Billy Idol is his dad.
And he came, and Billy Idol like came correct.
And now he's a grandfather with kids, and he's around all the time.
Which is awesome.
Could you imagine being like 30 years old and finding out your dad's Billy Idol?
But again, or vice versa, like being Billy Idol and being like, man, there's probably more out there.
There probably is more out there.
I'm not like saying, but again, back to what I was saying again about him being so endearing.
Yeah.
The proof, even though he
looked like a great grandpa.
Extremely self-destructive.
Oh, gosh, yes.
And made some really bad choices in his life. He almost always that was all inner, right? Like for the most part, like we're not seeing, as far as I know, fingers crossed, like women coming out of the blue saying he abused me or he groomed me when I was 12 or any kind of like weird stuff.
Real good, nice dude, but liked to party.
He just loved that lifestyle and he pushed it. So my point is this. I give Motley Crue a lot of grief about a lot of the stuff that he did.
Yeah.
The difference is, in my opinion, Billy Idol is endearing and does the right things. The other guys...
All roads lead back to Motley Crue on 104.7.
But I just don't want to sound like a hypocrite. They'll be like, well, why is Mike cool with Billy Idol? Watch the documentary and you'll see.
Yeah, man, it's a
they did a great job of really selling this guy, and even despite his shortcomings, I think they did it.
It's got a few moments when I had to rewind it and watch again.
There's a million stories. That's the other thing. It's incredible the amount of stuff that because it's not publicized. A lot of this stuff.
And a peek into that lifestyle and just the rise of somebody. It's just very cool.
It's cool to see where he came from and how he's doing now. We'll be back with our review of it next on Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.
Dark Side of the Stream. Mike the Intern and Jay Stevens, watching documentaries so you don't have to. 104.7 The Cave.
Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio one more time. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 276. Billy Idol Should Be Dead gets a solid 4 from me.
Solid 5 from me.
He didn't have perfect score.
Why not?
Because we don't get perfect scores.
And it just had some great moments in it, man.
It's really very anecdotal.
Very cool.
For two guys that probably play Billy Idol every other hour. We play a lot of Billy Idol.
And I remember when
we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
In ninth grade, man. That tape was on loop. I had some cool clothes with chains on it that I thought looked like Billy Idol, playing my guitar.
He was probably every 15 minutes on MTV in the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And again, his look coupled with that, again, like I said in the last thing, there were so many times where luck and fate just kicked him along.
Yeah.
Like the MTV part of that, Mark Bolan's deal, all that stuff. Luck was on his side. And the fact that he didn't die and he is alive. You know what I mean?
Maybe still out doing shows.
Yeah, and again, he's touring. Yeah, he's just toured States. We should make the sequel of like a following now called Billy Idol is Alive? ? Or exclamation point. Anyway, next week my pick. It's real short. The only reason I'm doing it is because it was one of my favorite shows growing up. But there is a series called Hollywood Demons. It's on Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max. And there is one episode in season 2, episode 3. It just aired, I think, Monday or Sunday, about Saved by the Bell. It's called After the Bell.
After the Bell.
And all the demons that followed some of the cast members.
Oh, yeah,
from Saved
yeah.
by the
One
Bell.
of the cats died, right? Yeah.
Can't wait to watch it. Watch us
right,
talk
cool.
about it on Facebook every Thursday or YouTube at 9 a.m. I play it during my show at that time. You can always download it for free as a podcast from our 104.7 The Cave app. I'm Mike the Intern. That's Jay Stevens reminding you. We watch movies.
documentaries.
You don't have to. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.